if you want to get into the end zone, you've got to move the ball. Telecasting, that's called. Telecasting. Yeah, it's like the field. Like, John, that's row 8 in the stands. Yeah, it's pretty good. Also, the audio's messed up for you guys again. So, oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, hold on. No wonder I am yelling. I can't hear myself. Problem solved. Ooh, slick. Okay. Hold on. I got to change everything now. Change everything.
I got headphones with that have a plug in them that aren't wireless. So I can use
Nice. I love headphones.
I'm doing it, man.
Do it. Dude, he's doing it.
Dude, I'm doing it. It's happening, dude. Look at this stupid blue cable.
Yeah, mine kind of dangles. And like my microphone's on the right and my headphone thing's on the left. It's not ideal. Not ideal.
You can see right here. I just freeze framed you. Right here, there's a lateral move.
Dude. You've got cross-field crossover right here, and when they cross over across the field right here with the cross-field crossover, you're not moving towards the end zone. You got to move towards the end zone in order to score touchdowns. If you want to win this game, you're going to have to score a touchdown.
You're going to have to go for the extra point, Rob.
Looks like they're trying to kick from...
what are the guys' names in Blood Bowl? Chip and something?
Jim and Bob.
Oh, Jim and Bob. I thought somebody was Chip.
There's
Chip was Bob's predecessor, but he was killed.
Got his face crushed.
Yeah.
These
not sure what Jim's last
headphones
name
are broken.
I think it's just like Jim Johnson or just something like that.
Did you change your output setting on your computer?
No, this fucking left earbud doesn't work. I can hear you guys in here, and I can hear me in here. I can hear me in my own headphones. It's freaking awesome, right?
So
Jared?
Nice.
Like 50% better than not having one.
But this earphone is not coming through.
Is it plugged in all the way?
Yeah.
Is your
actually, I'm getting the microphone audio through here, but I'm not getting the Discord audio through here.
Everyone speak to the right now to mess them up. We did the left too much. Now let's move it.
Freaking great. How do I turn it off of stereo? Surely there's something to do with that. These stupid headphones. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah,
Can you hear
this
me
is
now?
super dumb. Super not working. It's awesome to be able to hear myself, though. Tell you what, maybe it's worth it. You guys are just quieter.
You can just go with the single earbud, except for the one. Yeah, just take this.
Then I can hear myself anyway.
You're good, Angel.
It's like double.
Cricket.
Maybe this is okay. You know,
Maybe
I'm gonna
it
do
is.
it. I'm doing it.
All
I'm
right.
gonna turn up the gain. I'm gonna turn up the gain.
Gains. Sick gains.
I'm gonna
Get the
turn up
gym.
this gain. Oh shit.
John.
What the hell? I thought there was there's a gain button right here. Gain up. Gain.
I prefer time.
How's that? Is that better? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Sound pretty good? Sound okay?
Sounds great.
Stupid. What the hell is that?
I'm gonna share out our thing.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, I'm not
There we
logged
go.
in. I can't. Jeremy, you have to do it.
I'm waiting for it. I'll tweet it.
It's already
There we
live.
go. There we go. There we go.
Oh, it's live? Oh.
Yeah, we've been live this whole
the
time. It's
hell?
real
Gosh,
embarrassing.
that's awful.
It's not. We're just trying to figure this shit out. Listen, we're professionals here.
We are.
Let me turn this off.
There it is.
Save changes? No.
Is the sound going through?
You know what the biggest first
like
world
this.
problem I'm experiencing right now is this microphone's blocking half of my computer monitor. It's the biggest first world problem I've ever had in my life.
It's credible.
Yeah. All right. This is my final audio test. And I'm not testing again. Okay, now I'm going to listen. Dude, it sounds so good.
Nice.
It's time to buy some wired headphones, apparently. Some good ones.
Mine can do
Not
both.
that good ones. I just have.
I don't know where my
wired.
plug is on mine. Mine has an adapter. I just don't know where it is.
Mine
this
can
it?
do both
Oh.
without an adapter.
This isn't it. I don't know what happened to it. And it kind of makes me mad, but it's okay. Hey, did you guys like the news that I put on there? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
thank you
I
very
didn't
much.
find
It
much
looks-
else, honestly.
No, it looks real good.
There was not a whole lot of news. So
Spoilers.
spoilers to who?
All the people watching right now.
Our adoring fans that are tuning in?
I'm just about to tweet it. They're on their way.
They're on their way. They're
All
bringing
right.
it on the door, Legrand. They want in.
You're gonna talk about Back for Blood again? Dude, I played
We
like
haven't
1,
talked
2,
about
3,
Back
4
for
of the
Blood.
5 games on our list.
We should start
Nice.
talking about it.
I'm on board. Let's go. Ready to go? You guys all recording? We doing this?
Let's do
Okay,
it. Let's do
we're
it.
gonna clap just because
I was
now the
born
people
ready.
on YouTube are gonna know the secret
I was
behind
born
how we
half
do
an hour
this.
ago.
Okay, we're gonna clap. 1, 2, 3. Ow! Wow, mine really pegged out.
Nice.
It was
Yeah,
loud.
mine
It
did
hurt
too.
my
I don't
hand.
think
hurt my own
mine
hand.
does anymore. It like, I don't know.
You
10
gotta
minutes and 2
crank
seconds,
up the
Jeremy.
gain, bud.
All right,
you
thanks.
gotta turn up the gain.
Gain. No pain, no gain.
All right. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Hang on a second. That was too loud. I'm not used to this microphone.
Too
Still,
much gain.
Too much gain. Let me turn that down. Hang on. This way. There. Is that better?
Okay,
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds the same
definitely.
to us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Game by Show podcast. It is August the 8th, 2021. That's right. This is the Game by Show. My name is LeGrand Jolly, your host for this evening, joined as always by one Jeremy Lamont. Hello, Jeremy.
Hi there, everybody. Hey, everybody watching on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. I know you're out
Doing
there.
it again. And since we're doing our standard intro, Dale Jones. Hello, Dale.
Hello.
And joining us yet again, one Jared Red Eye Dunn, a man who is honestly a man that brings a lot to the table. Not just his shining radiance.
Manly kind of things, of course.
That's right. He brings a sword on his wall. That's what he brings.
There's a sword back there, and I got a
You
helmet over
guys
Has
don't
that.
know about Jared's sword. Well, tune in to the YouTube version of this here show. And
He's also got the weird occult lamp in the background.
Yeah,
there.
the same sword and the same
It-
lamp that he uses in Ultima Online.
It's
You
an
can actually see
IKEA
them.
lamp, by the way.
it's a lamp from Darkest Dungeon where you
Like
have
a
to like get to the
cult.
You
light.
know, the
Oh,
the
man.
best
Looks
part about that lamp is it's on like a smart outlet or whatever, so you can like use like Google Home to turn it on and off, and it's got a schedule.
I'm setting up my whole house that way.
Yeah, so it turns on like it's like real low, right? It's like a night light, and it turns on at sunset, turns off at sunrise. But I had to give it a name, and I have so in our house when you go upstairs, there's like a bedroom, and then like this walkway that's like open below it, so it's like a bridge. I call it the drawbridge. And there's a light up there, so that light's called the drawbridge. And this one is by the front door, so I call it the portcullis.
Oh, I like that.
And my poor wife, she was just like, "Oh, God."
Dude,
Turn
you are
on the
LARPing.
portcullis.
You don't stop LARPing.
Is that what
That's
you say
right.
to your Amazon device.
You know what you can actually set it up so that you can actually use custom commands for that stuff.
Yeah,
what we
it's
do.
it's great. I can be like, "Hey Google, turn off the portcullis."
And you
Yeah.
can be like,
You should tell it to lower the portcullis.
Yeah,
That'd be way
lower the
cooler.
portcullis, lower the drawbridge, lower the
Oh,
portcullis.
dude, it worked.
How about
In
that?
real
It's
So
like
time.
magic.
I'm not kidding. That is my thing.
That's a
You know,
level
for a
3
long
summoner
time,
spell.
I owned a Motorola Android phone, and it would let you customize instead of like saying, "Hey Google," you could like customize what would activate the voice thing.
Right.
And mine was "Attention Fleet Command," like one of the lines from
Dude, you are such a
Homeworld.
freaking nerd,
From
man.
Homeworld.
That's good.
"Attention
I love
Fleet
it.
Command."
That's okay.
Commander.
Homeworld's a good game.
It's a good game. It was real
right.
cool, like like at work when I would do it. People thought I was
It's real fun.
totally normal.
I have a command that turns on if I tell my Amazon device, nondescript Amazon device, to rip and tear, it turns all the lights on my main floor red and then blares rip and tear, or the BFG
Nice.
division from the Doom 2016.
Nice.
2016.
Totally normal. Not weird at
Yeah, I
all.
love it.
Good song, right? Right, Jeremy? Is that normal?
That's real good.
Yeah.
I like
it's
the I
good.
like the part where it goes.
Yeah, that whole soundtrack's amazing, just like that. I
is
still
really
listen to that soundtrack like constantly.
It's awesome.
Constantly, it's really good. It's really good.
I thought, you know what I would do? If I were like for like April Fool's Day, I would change every one of your lights to like some like I'd name one like Tooby Ruby Doo, and one of them would be Booby Tooby Doo, or something like that. And you just like have to, just like to something where they're all just like nonsense, and then
I would simply walk over to the light switch on the wall and flick it.
Dude, got him.
I would just turn it off. Well, I've got the smart lights are not bad, Dale. You'd make a good point. Light switches always work, but it's not bad when I can just tell my house to turn off all the lights and they all just turn off.
I actually used it this week when I was driving away, and I was fixing something that had gone wrong with it, to be honest. So it was malfunctioning to begin with, but I was able to change my lights as I was fleeing my home.
Attention,
Clean.
Fleet Command. Make sure the garage door is closed.
I've got that too. I've got a smart garage
that one
door
too.
now.
It's awesome. And
Yeah,
my favorite
dude.
part about it, it has like a 5-second timer when it's closing. So like if I'm like leaving,
Does it
you know
beep
how
at you
used
too
to
when
have
it's
to like
closing?
hit the button on the wall and like run and like get over the laser thing? You don't have to do that anymore. You casually
I have
walk
stepped
out.
over the laser. Yeah.
Yeah, mine will automatically check that my garage door is closed every night at 10 o'clock and close.
Yep, I've got the same.
Nice.
And
cool.
my porch lights turn on at dusk and turn off in the morning when the sun comes back up.
For
do
no
the same.
apparent reason, I set mine on a gradual timer, so 15 minutes before sunset, it'll start at like 1%, and then it'll eventually brighten up. I don't know why. Like, it doesn't do anybody any good, but I'm like, I can do it. So
You should make
Why
them
not?
blink in the middle of the night for just random reasons.
just like
Yeah.
send off some Morse code.
Yeah, it's okay.
Try to land an airplane.
Listen, smart home stuff's super dumb, but super fun at the same time.
It kind of is. It
It's
kind of
real
is.
silly.
Mhm.
It's really dumb.
Can't wait for my
I need
smart
the
sword.
smart locks are my next.
We
are
have
my
a
next
smart
thing.
light bulb that you can control the hue of the light from an app on the iPad.
Yeah, I actually installed those for my daughters, and like you can do like this weird color cycling stuff. and-
Yeah.
I've got
all
that
that.
right here in my office. You want
I
to see?
played with it for
Want to
like
see for the
1
YouTube
day.
fans?
Yeah.
Ready for
Okay,
this?
here we're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it live.
Live bonus
shit.
content.
Huh? Oh. Huh? Ah, brighter,
Wow.
oranger, dimmed.
You know, I'll tell you what. It sure looks like something's happening on video.
Doesn't it look like something's cool.
It looks vaguely.
Something's going on.
Vaguely, something's
It's at
happening.
30%. Let's crank it up. There we go.
Whoa.
Whoa, I
It's
don't
not,
like
not
that.
quite
Got
Jared
it.
Dunn levels.
I should have put more gin
No.
in this.
Yeah.
You need double the gin for the conversation we're
Oh
having
dang!
right now.
I meant to make a drink too, Dale. Jeez, now I feel bad.
Too bad there's not smart drinks.
He's got a little tonic and gin.
Yet.
Yeah.
I was gonna make an old fashioned.
Oh.
Old fashioned.
Well, guys, I've got some video games to talk about today. That's what we do now at the beginning of the Sunday show.
Eventually, we get there.
I need to talk about quickly a game called The Ramp. This
Okay.
this is like one that would make it on
It's
our.
like a skating game.
It is. It's a skateboarding game.
I think
it's
it'd
a
be cool if
very,
there's one
very
called Sick Jumps.
yeah. I think it's called. Well, there's a mode in there called Sick Jumps.
Oh, nice.
This is a very basic skateboarding game. It was like $4.50, I think, right now on Steam. But it's basically skateboard guy. It's like a cross between, God, I don't know how to explain it. It's a cross between like 720 skateboarding, but you're only in like a ramp or like a pool or something like that. And it's very, very basic. It's kind of like this. You have the one single camera angle, kind of like what's that game? I have the soundtrack on vinyl. It's
It's kind of like off-road racing on the
yeah,
SNES.
kind of.
The super off-road where you just like go around the track.
Yeah, you have like one perspective, and you're kind of in like a pool, or you're in like a half pipe, or there's like a mega ramp level. There's like 4 different levels that you can go into, but it's very basic. You don't do flip tricks, but there's like a mechanism of like pumping the transitions and then holding on the flat and then, pulling up the next transition.
Jumping when you get up
and then you fly off at the top. But it's all about momentum. It's not about like just being able to hold the jump button, because there's no jump button. It's just like a crouch, if you skateboard, it's like pumping a transition.
Right.
Or like
Legrand, there's a 1-sentence description on the Steam store page. It says a digital toy for skateboard loving people. Pure flow, no extra fluff.
There's nothing to this game. There's no RPG mechanics. There's no experience. There's no characters unlocked. There's nothing. And so
how do you know you're winning?
There's nothing to win. You just play. It's just a toy. It's a toy for skateboard enthusiasts. And it's like it's good. There's not much more to say about it.
It's similar to games I've played, Trackmania.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, nah. Yeah,
where you just like race around? No,
that's what it says.
So is it good? Because it sounds like you could. I mean, I don't know.
It's pretty chill. It's kind of like Ollie Ollie chill.
Yeah.
If Ollie Ollie, not Ollie Ollie. God, what's the one? Skate City.
Oh,
Skate City that came out. That's on Apple Arcade. It's also on Steam now, I guess. It's kind of like Skate City if you were playing in like a half pipe or like a pool or a bowl or something like that. There's also
music?
a mega ramp level. What?
Is there music?
Yeah, it's not very good. And you can turn it off, which I did.
It's whatever you play on your smart speakers.
Yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, it's a really cool game. It's like $4. If you like skateboarding games, like give it a look. And
if you're getting bored with your fidget spinner, this is
basically that. It's pretty fun just to kind of chill, and there's you can do grabs and spins, but overall the mechanics are very, very simple and basic. And again, I think that 1-sentence description, Dale, pretty much sums it up. So check it out.
Very nice.
It's called The Ramp. I kind of played with. I mean, it was like $4. I put maybe an hour, 30 minutes to an hour into it, and I'll probably come back to it every once in a while and just kind of check it out. Not much to it again, since there's no mechanics to keep you playing or new levels to unlock or whatever, or even a variety of levels. There's like 4 maps, which is just like a single.
To go back to the description on the Steam store page, one of the features, it says, yes, tons of flow, satisfying and unique skateboarding gameplay, easy to learn, hard to master. And then it says,
I agree.
But no unlockable stuff, no score, no missions, no guns, explosions, and helicopters.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Maybe they'll add helicopter DLC though.
Maybe I'd pay $1 for that. But the game I have put a lot of time into this week is a game called Pokemon Unite.
Ooh. All right.
Have you guys heard of this game?
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is on the Nintendo Switch. It's free to play. It's a Pokemon game, and it's basically a MOBA with Pokemon. So we're talking Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, I remember.
MOBA. I think it's pretty new. I think it came out just a few weeks ago.
It has to have.
Yeah.
There's like laning and jungling Pokemon.
Yeah, so basically what you do, it's Pokemon, so you pick a Pokemon, and I've been playing, and I don't know Pokemon very well. Listen, not a Pokemon guy, but I've been playing Venusaur, who grows from Bulbasaur to Ivysaur to Venusaur.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, when you start out the game, you actually start out as Bulbasaur, and as you level up through the game, through the MOBA, as you kill things and do stuff and kill guys, you evolve into Venusaur and then Ivysaur, or vice versa, or whatever.
Right, whatever it is.
And when you evolve, you get to upgrade one of your skills that you have. So eventually you end up having an ultimate ability and 2 skills that you can upgrade and change and evolve depending on the build that you want to go. So you might be able to change this skill to, you have like an attack-based skill. You can turn it into like a control or like a stun, or you can turn it into like a support-like ability. But basically there's maybe 20 different Pokemon that you can choose from to play. It's free to play, so there's like a rotation of Pokemon that are free. You unlock some, they give you some during like the tutorial, and then you can unlock them with in-game currency, or you can spend real money. It's just like, standard free-to-play MOBA, basically.
I kind of like the idea that you can sort of kind of change your load set as you go. You know what that actually reminds me of is Battleborn, the game that nobody loved but me, which every level that you would play, you would actually get to choose some.
Do you still play
branching stuff.
Battleborn?
In my head.
Oh,
I think
cool.
it's
Okay.
shut
Why
down,
are we even comparing it to this game?
It's
that
completely gone. Just because it's the only time I've ever seen it, which I thought was a really interesting mechanic, which is that every level you play from 1 to 15 or whatever, but you get to choose branching, forking paths about what you want this ability to be more like. So you actually customize your loadout as you go.
Yeah, so you like change it, and depending on I've been playing, like I said, Ivysaur or Venusaur, whatever that one is. What's the level 3 Bulbasaur? I can't remember.
Venusaur, I think it is.
Is it Venusaur? Okay, I've been playing Venusaur and Snorlax a lot.
Nice.
And there's like Charmanders in it, and Pikachu's in it, and some other Lucario.
So is there also like the whole rock, paper, or like fire, water, plants?
No.
No. Okay. So
nothing like that. So it's more like a MOBA standard where you have your attack Pokemon. You got some that are based on speed. You have some that are defenders. You have support Pokemon, so like Snorlax, for example, and Machamp.
Kadabra, like
No,
Abra,
it's not in it.
Psychic. No.
The mime guy's in it though. The little mime clown guy.
But do they all have to evolve? Because I think they may
Mr.
have
Mime.
added some. Yeah, like that.
They
Mr.
all
Mime
evolve.
had
I don't know what
default
Pikachu does.
Form.
Right.
So there was Pikachu, Raichu.
Pikachu starts out as Pikachu, and I think always stays as Pikachu.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it goes to Raichu, because when you pick it, it's just nobody knows who Raichu is. Everyone knows who Pikachu is.
Right.
So the difference between this game is it's very, very basic. It's Pokemon, but the core mechanic of playing a MOBA exists, where you are, controlling a lane. There's no creep that fight down the lane. The way that you play the game is you actually kill creep, and you catch them in a Pokeball. And then the towers are not towers, meaning that they don't fight you, but you go up to the tower and you hold down the X button and you slam dunk the Pokeballs into a ring. And once you slam dunked 100 of them into one ring, it disappears. Then you make your way up the lane to the next tower.
Interesting.
The only other trick is that the games only last 10 minutes long. So there's a timer.
I approve of that.
And once the timer hits 10 minutes, whoever has slam dunked the most Pokeballs wins, right? And
I
so
kind of like that variation on it. That's different.
It is 5-on-5, and obviously the games never last more than 10 minutes, so it's really, really quick to get in and get out. But there's a lot of like little variation, a little strategy to play. Like, so there's different different creep around that you can go and fight, and when you kill them, you get buffs. So in the similar to like League of Legends, like the red buff and blue buff and stuff like that, you can get buffs from the different Pokemon that you can come fight in the jungle or whatever.
Yeah.
There's
I have
also
kind of
like
a fiddly sort of question.
Sure.
What is the actual? Because here's the thing: I really appreciate a MOBA that can be done with like twin sticks. What is the mechanic by which you target and fight? Because I really like my favorite one of all time. Again, another game that is basically gone was Guardians of Middle Earth, which was sort of like a simplified version where you would sort of arrange almost like a view cone, in a circle around your character, and then whoever was in your view cone, it would start auto attacking them.
I think there's a handful of different control schemes that you can pick depending on how nerdy you want to get about it. Like if you want to be hardcore, aim everything, like I would imagine that you can target dudes and cycle through targets and stuff like that. But the default is very similar to like Arena of Valor on the Switch, is also on the Switch, where it just kind of targets who you want. Some of your abilities are targetable. So for example, Venusaur has like a slow bomb that he launches and it lands. And so when you have a guy within range of it, you automatically just cast it at him.
Right.
But if you want to like lead him, you can then move with your right analog stick and the reticle and aim it. Exactly. Yeah. And so it's kind of like that. So like he's also got an ability where it launches like a beam, like a ray beam out in front of him that does damage. And so when you attack it, if there's someone in range of it, it'll just aim towards them.
Right.
Otherwise, you can also move it around. The one thing that I found is that sometimes you'll want to aim it at one guy, and if you just mash the button without actually aiming it, like hold down the button and aim, might go in a different direction.
Fire in some direction.
Yeah, if there's an enemy up there or something else that you're kind of accidentally targeting to. But the very best thing about this game, I'm going to tell you guys right now, is there's a bunch of freaking noobs playing this game right now. Like,
yeah, I'm in.
I've played
Children.
1,000 hours of League of Legends. I played 4,000 hours of Heroes of the Storm. I don't know how many I've played. I played a lot of MOBAs in my life. I played original Dota, played Dota 2, League of Legends, Heroes of New Earth, all the things. And this is a Pokemon game, so all the Poke Kids are playing Pokemon Unite, right?
So you heard it here first. Play Pokemon Unite so you can beat up on 8-year-olds like LeGrand.
Dude, yeah. I'm telling you, man, it's a blast. The first game I played, I got MVP. Like, I mean, I had the highest score of everyone on the round.
Nice.
Like, because the skills of traditional MOBA playing translate to this game, and a lot of people playing it just don't have those skills. So if you have been playing a lot of MOBAs, if you played them over the years, well, just come into this game and just wreck some faces.
My chance to have success.
It's a good time. It's cool, and it's a pretty fun little game, and I've been kind of, I'm not gonna say addicted to it. I've been playing a lot of it. I played maybe 20 rounds. But since they're only like 10 minutes long max, like we've had some where they've
like
surrendered
20,000 hours.
too bad. Yeah. And there's like a lot of free to play stuff built in there. There's currency. There's, you know, lots of unlockables. Your Pokemon trainer guys. Your avatar is actually a trainer on the outside, so you can get, you know, clothing and stupid stuff to equip to your guy, and then it shows up like when you're loading the game, your character will show there like, I'm the Pokemon, and well, Bulbasaur, I choose you, you know, or whatever.
So what tree is the professor named after in this game?
I haven't seen a professor. There's no professor to talk to, man. You're just battling. You're just
Professor
battling.
Festivus Pole.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's worth checking out. It's free to play. It's free to play. It hasn't been too egregious. There's a battle pass. I haven't spent any money on it.
I think I actually do want to check this out.
You should check it out. It's fun.
We should form a Pokemon fighting league for this. Like,
dude,
Pokemon Unite, Game Bytes Show.
Game Bytes Show Unite.
The clan. That's right.
It's a fun little simple MOBA that I think is going to have legs because it's
well, you said it's free.
And it's free.
Yeah.
You know what really chafes me up is the one good MOBA that ever existed was not free, and it died because of it. That was the Middle Earth one.
It was Guardians of Middle Earth.
I wasn't going to say it. So good.
This man speaks truth.
But it wasn't free. It was like
I never played it.
$30.
360.
It was also on console. Yeah, I actually bought of all things. I paid money for the character Elrond on PlayStation 3.
Nerd.
Wow.
One of the best.
Yeah, I played that one as well.
Dollars I ever spent.
I don't remember
that was only on consoles, wasn't it?
I think it still works. No, but it actually led on consoles. So like the console version was actually kind of like the better version, but technically it didn't run great. So
weird. They thought, our Lord of the Rings license will carry us. Nope.
Yeah. For a little while, maybe. I don't know.
So it's no longer available on Steam.
Oh, that's a bummer. But you know what? Time to break it out again.
Time to play Pokemon Unite, where all the real cool kids are.
The experts.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I played something brand new this week that everyone is trying out because it's on a limited beta, so everybody who can is getting into it, at least for a round or two. I played the Back 4 Blood closed beta that has been on.
I think it turns open in like 3 days.
Yeah, it'll be later this week, so everybody will have a chance to try it out. But for those who pre-ordered or for those who signed up, they are sending out invitations.
You can also get it through a Twitch drop. You got to spend an hour watching somebody play
I was surprised by that. I'm like,
anyone can get in.
You can, but you gotta grind for it. They make you pay.
Right.
So of course, this is from Turtle Rock Studios. It is the spiritual successor, as we all know, to the Left 4 Dead series, Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, which, you know, oddly, nobody else has really done really quite the same way. I know we have Vermintide, but it's not the same. It's
I mean, obviously the combat style is very different, and Vermintide 2, although I will say Vermintide 2, I think did introduce where you can play the bad guys. I might have made that up.
Well, they still
that was
carry
always
that
a big
on
difference.
This. So kind of here's the thing. The short of it is that it's basically Left 4 Dead. But the long of it is that it's Left 4 Dead, but they've kind of added everything in that people have been doing in games for the last, 10 years since Left 4 Dead 2 came out. And I think it actually works really well. Basically, it does carry over. First of all, there are more characters. I think there's like 8 characters that you can choose from. There's a few available in the beta itself. The characters have different perks, different things that they are each capable of doing, which I don't think wasn't really a thing in Left 4 Dead.
Wasn't a thing at all in Left 4 Dead.
It was just different characters with like different voice barks and things like that. But now you have characters who kind of specialize in different things. There's also a card system, which they kind of do a couple of different things with it. So there are cards that are helpful to you as an individual, cards that are helpful to your whole team. And then there are cards that I can't remember what they call. They're like corruptor cards or something like that. And those can actually change. And sometimes you're required to draw them. So in between matches, you kind of have to choose. It'll give you like a choice between 3 different cards, and you can say, oh well, we're going to get a bonus money if we find the toxin sample and carry it to the end of the level. Or you can say, well, there's actually a foggy haze or something where it'll add an area into the middle of the match that normally wouldn't be there, where there's like mysterious fog and like bad guys come out of it, or whatever. So it actually changes the level in a way that you can kind of say, yeah, I don't know if we can. We're in pretty bad shape. These guys I'm playing with aren't that good. Maybe I won't.
They're all Jeremy.
Yeah, they're all me, basically. I can't carry myself, guys. But there's that, and then they've added also weapon upgrade systems. In Left 4 Dead, normally it was, you'd find an axe, you'd find Molotov cocktails, you'd find whatever, and that was just
only a handful of weapons in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, that's right. And now they have sort of like a CS Counter-Strike sort of system where any gun that you get can have scopes and stocks.
Reminds me of Apex Legends or Warzone.
Do you like upgrade these as you go in the match?
You can find components. You can find like a new sight, or you can find like a stock, or you can find
some of these. It seems like they kind of picked and chose.
Picked and chosen.
Yes. Speaking of the chosen, Vermintide 2 had a kind of a similar system where you had unique characters that had unique abilities and play styles. And then you upgraded your weapons and could kind of change not how they functioned, but generally what how they performed through various
there's like a crafting system in Vermintide too.
All that.
I haven't found that there's really a crafting system in this.
No,
but
it's more like Left 4 Dead, except for you find components for your weapons around.
Yep.
Characters don't level up, it seems. I didn't
No,
see
not that
that
I've found. But within the scope of like the campaign, you accumulate more cards and stuff as you
during like a mission that's like what, like 8 chapters, so like 1 level or something, it seemed.
Yeah.
So like 8, like in Left 4 Dead, it was like 4 discrete levels for like a mission, right? This one's got like 8 or 10 or something.
There's a bunch, and there is. I will say 2 things about it. I did kind of like the sort of conceit in Left 4 Dead where it was like, this is a movie and there is a director. It didn't really come out and get like, nobody talked about that. You didn't really think about it, but
the AI director was like the big thing they always talk about.
Yeah. And in this, they do the same thing, but they don't make a big deal of it. I mean, I think at the time it was kind of cool and neat, and it was adaptive to the players and stuff. And this will still do that to some extent, I think. But it's all just sort of like, this is a real gritty future.
So here's my real question. So I'm kind of still over zombies. I haven't recovered from the original zombie craze. Dale, to explain to me this, why isn't there a Space Hulk version of this game?
They're working on the 40K one.
How perfect would it be?
Space Hulk Deathwing.
Is Deathwing...
I thought they were working on a 40K Vermintide. They are.
Yeah, they're doing. There's one called Dark Tide that they're doing.
Yeah, Dark Tide. That's what it is.
Well, we'll play that.
But specifically one set within
Bolters or bust.
Let me say this, because I know LeGrand, I know you jumped in and you're kind of like, nah. I've heard people say like, I played once and I think I'm done with it. I want to say that I found it actually to be pretty refreshing. It took me back, and I was like, you know what? I remember playing some late nights with Left 4 Dead, and
I played a lot of Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, like I'm kind of ready for it. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to pay money for it, but the fact that it's going to be on Game Pass, I'm ready for that. And it's totally cross everything as far as I can tell. I don't know if it might restrict Xbox and PlayStation, maybe.
Here's the thing that I didn't have the. So I really love Left 4 Dead, and I tried to fire it up not terribly long ago, and it doesn't hold up as a shooter anymore. Like,
well, they did
shooters have evolved
just recently.
Control, yeah, exactly, and Control has evolved with shooters in general. And this game modernizes. I mean, even playing like BioShock, like BioShock just doesn't play well anymore as a shooter if you played it that way
It's a
because
2007 game.
and so is Left 4 Dead. Like Left 4
Yeah,
Dead
stuff is old.
2007, 2008, right? So Left 4 Dead 2 was, an
Old
upgrade from
games
that.
are
But this,
bad.
but it doesn't hold up. Old shooters on mouse and keyboard just don't feel right. There's something with the mouse
Even Left 4
acceleration
Dead
or
2
something
came
going
out
on.
like 1 year after Left
Yeah.
4 Dead did. So
Weirdly,
yeah,
I
this
played a lot more Left 4 Dead than Left 4 Dead 2. actually,
This game
personally.
feels really good. The shooting feels really good. The weapons are cool. Like the
zombie
shotgun
mix.
is awesome. The zombie stuff's cool. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it has the style that Left 4 Dead had. Like I remember going into Left 4 Dead, and this is the carnival level, and this is the
remember the squeaky
this is the
clown
farm
shoes?
level.
The
and-
best thing in video games that year was like the zombies who were the clowns from the carnivals, and you could
Yeah.
hear them running up at you with their squeaky clown shoes.
That's what this game doesn't have. Well, and maybe
Yeah.
that's because we haven't seen the other levels, and maybe
That's true.
different, and
That's
maybe
true.
it's better. And this is just, and so the beta is just
is a
one
beta.
discrete level.
Yeah.
And there were, 6 or 7 in Left 4 Dead 2, and they
And
were
they'll
all like
probably
very,
make
very
more.
unique. And this is the one that's the farm. You're going through the corn, and you're going into the farmhouse, and
Yeah.
and this is the one that's this, and this has got the bridge, and this one's the carnival, and this game is.
And there are
you know-
still all the like set pieces and things. Here's a howitzer cannon that you've got to like load it and then eject the shells, and zombies are coming at you while you're.
You got to pull the crank, and it starts
Yeah.
the thing and makes all the noise. Now the zombies
They
are
all
coming.
come.
Like
Yeah.
it's 100% Left 4 Dead 3,
And
it's.
I found that it was real good. I
I had fun playing it too. I'm not gonna lie.
So I could see either way. I mean, I have seen several people say, yeah, I feel like they're maybe not giving it quite a fair shake yet. But again, it is just a beta. And for everybody, if this sounds interesting to you at all, like LeGrand was saying, next week I believe it's going to be open for everybody.
Or just wait till Game Pass. It comes out and just
Yeah,
play it. Like that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna play it anymore probably, but I have some friends that are into it, and I'm gonna play it with them on Game Pass. And
That's
it's
the
gonna
thing.
be awesome.
Way good with friends. But even
Left
if
4
you're
Dead 2
not-
is always you had to play it with friends. You
See,
couldn't play it by yourself with like
Yeah.
strangers. It didn't work. Like it was a game you had to play. And I didn't try the multiplayer on this as well. So that's one thing I have not tried.
did
The
and-
not the co-op, but the
the
competitive
verses.
multiplayer.
Yeah, I didn't play.
Yeah.
I haven't played the verses.
So that's the
So
thing is I
I'm
was
hoping that's good.
really enjoyed Vermintide 2, but if you don't have a crew to play it with, like it's just not fun.
It's too hard.
Yeah, well,
Vermintide 2 is too hard.
it's just not enjoyable if you're not like sitting around on voice chat with people you know and want to spend time with. I think all those games go that way for me.
I
One
agree.
thing though I will say is kind of in the same way that Apex Legends as a game tried to kind of do like the ping system, which wasn't really well used before then. The barks that are pretty well, pills here and those kinds of things. They still do a very good job where you don't have to, mute your thing. By the way, I got mine on the PlayStation 5 and the controller now has that default microphone. You hit that button to mute that if you're not. It kept showing me as like having talk. I was having mic activity. I'm like, where's that coming? Oh, the controller, and I had to actually turn that off. But even without any actual, person-to-person communication, they still do a really good job of the passive barks and things that the characters will do. And then also there's a ping system, and they give you a lot of ways that you can communicate and collaborate even without friends. So it still works really well for that too. So anyway, Back for Blood. Probably by this point, it's a little late for you to get into closed beta. But hey, guess what? Open beta. So this whole week, try it out. Give it a shot.
I just have a quick update this week on Warhammer 40K Battle Sector, which is I think what I talked about last week. And I just want to say this is not like I wasn't like flaking out and not playing any video games this week. Like I've been playing this a lot actually. I was just looking at my Steam playtime. And this is not quite accurate because a couple of times I've just like left the game running while I went and did stuff around the house. But it's showing almost 29 hours.
In 1 week?
2 weeks, I think.
In one day.
Because the first day that I have an
It
achievement
stopped.
on this game was July 25th. So a week and a half, say.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really good. It's really cool. Like I was playing this mission earlier today where they start you off with all your Space Marines in like one area of the map, and you're sent on this mission to go and relieve some Sisters of Battle that are like holed up in this like basilicanum sort of place. And there's like all these giant, like the really big Tyranid units. There's like a few of them called. There's one that's an Exocrine that like basically is like a living cannon thing that shoots like giant shells that'll wipe out a whole unit. And then there's this one called a Tyrannofex, which like spews like barf, and it'll just like melt your units. And then the bigger one that you have to worry about is called a Turvogon, and that one basically like spits out units of the smaller Tyrannid stuff that go around. So like you want to make sure you prioritize in your kill order, right? You got to like prioritize that one so he doesn't create more stuff for you to deal with, you know. And it was just kind of like a that level was sort of just a challenge on like how do you navigate your large force that is far from where the action is sort of unfolding, while kind of like trying to protect the Sisters of Battle that are like under siege, you know. And finally what ended up happening was like I got my jetpack guys like to jump like way over there just to make contact, you know, to like sort of like we can like write it on paper that we quote unquote relieved the Sisters of Battle contingent.
Right.
But then they all got just slaughtered.
It's fun in a game when you can sort of like get away with something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, but by the book, I'm fulfilling the objectives.
Right.
Exactly.
This was a failure.
But as it turns out, the item on your checklist that says relieve the Sisters of Battle, that's an optional objective because they did in fact all just get killed, and it didn't end the mission, right? Like I thought.
I mean, that's a form of relief, I suppose. You know.
Yeah. They're put out of their misery, but then.
So are your assault marines.
Yeah, no, they were too, and almost my force commander also, because he also has a jump pack and he was with them, and so I had to be really kind of crafty about how I manipulated his order of operations so that he would fill his momentum gauge up and get an extra action like at just the right time so that I could get him out of dodge and get him back to the apothecary to get patched up, you know. Yeah, and then after those sisters that ended up dying, they did contribute crucially to killing the two of those Turvogon guys that spit out more smaller units. And so after their, you know, glorious sacrifice for the Emperor, I was able to mop up the rest of the Tyrannid menace in that level.
This all just one big campaign with.
Yeah, it's one big campaign. I think it's 20 missions, and I think I'm on probably mission 16 or 17 now.
Do you find yourself having to like replay missions? Is it that kind of game where
this
you
one
like,
I did? Yeah,
you
this
get kind of into it, and then you're like, no, I'm losing. Let me try again.
Yeah,
that's not how it happened.
Yeah. Well, so this one and maybe not the one directly before this, but one of the ones like a couple of missions before that. One thing that this game does, which is kind of I don't know, graceful, I guess I should say, is you have these like 4 or 5 sort of story characters they're your commanders of your force, right? That are kind of along for every mission, and you can't swap them out, but they also don't take up any points allocation in your force. If those guys die, normally it would be like a game over, right? Mission failed, but they each get one, you know, quote unquote death from which they wake up with like 20 HP. And that's like your grace period, right? If they die again, then it really is game over.
That's it, yeah.
But they do allow you to take that one like real hard shot right to the face and knock you over, you know. And then
I'm good. I just shake it off.
Exactly.
It's like
exactly. You know, like a real space marine would. You know, they're just like, I'm good, brother.
She turns you into a newt. I got better.
And but yeah, it's just a really cool game. It really nails like a bunch of the 40K stuff, especially like the newer units that they've come out with in just the last few years. This is like the first game that a lot of these are appearing in, and it's to the point where like they're doing the actual like things you can swap out, like the bolt guns for the plasma guns on some of these guys and whatnot, and it's just super cool.
I loved that about Dawn of War, right? Like that strategy game where you could like upgrade. You had to choose like, do I want like a heavy bolter on this unit of Space Marines or a plasma gun? Or I loved that. It was so good.
If you can take a heavy bolter, you want to take a heavy bolter.
Yeah. I mean, there was different reasons, and I'm sure it was balanced more for the game than the, you know, tabletop.
You guys played Dawn of War 3? Did you guys ever play that?
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't beat the campaign on that one.
I didn't play it very much either. I played it for a few hours, I think.
3 missions into the campaign and it kept crashing, and I just gave up.
Oh, really?
I played a
campaign
ton of
was-
Dawn of War 2 though, like ton of like online. I loved its online. I don't know
That
why.
game
I
was
played
cool. I
all
like Dawn of
all
War
3 of
2.
the campaigns of Dawn of War 2, like all the DLC and everything. That was a wicked good game.
That game was awesome.
Yeah.
I need more real in my strategy, real time. I'm not very good
Yes.
at. I'm too impatient for like, and I
Turn-based.
suck at turn-based strategy. I just
Yeah,
can't
this
do
one
it,
is
man.
straight up turn based, and it does move kind of slow. That's the thing. Like this mission that I was doing today, I was 2 hours into the first time by the time I lost it, and then
I give up. That's when I'm like, I'm
2
done with
hours
video
in and
games.
like, oh, you have to redo it all
Uninstall.
again.
I give up
Yeah.
on video
That's
games
rough.
now.
yeah, and then when I redid it the second time. I don't think it took another 2 hours.
Imagine
It was
like
less than that.
if other media did this. If you're like reading a book and you're like, I don't know, like 3 chapters in, and they're like, no, let's start that over.
No, you gotta go
Actually,
back.
that does kind of happen to me when I forget what
Yeah.
I was reading. So-
Well,
But, yeah, it happens to me too. I've done that before. I've been like 60% through a book, and I was like, what was going
yeah,
on?
who's this guy?
Yeah, and then, like I just go back to the beginning.
Glorfindel. I haven't
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
of him.
Can't
Check
remember
my-
Game of Thrones at all. I guess I'll start at the beginning.
Oh man, that's the worst. But what's not the worst is the Ascent, which is actually what I've been playing this week.
Ooh.
We talked about it last week about its, I guess, kind of its games.
Release.
Yeah, it released and it was on games, the Windows
Game Pass.
Game Pass thing, and it wasn't working good. I guess like some of the features weren't in parity with the Steam
The ray
release.
tracing hasn't been on.
Yeah.
Um,
I got all the ray tracing. I bought it on Steam because
you bought it?
Yeah, I bought
I
it.
saw you
don't-
playing on Steam. Like, why the hell is Jared playing
don't
this
have
on
Game
Steam?
Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
I don't have Game Pass.
You could have bought like a
don't-
year of Game Pass.
I don't
for
want a
the
year
one
of Game
game that
Pass.
you just bought.
I don't want a year Game Pass. I
You
want
could have
the
had it
Ascent.
though.
Quick side note, though. I know you're talking about the Ascent, but did you see that the thing that they were talking about, games that come on Game Pass have this halo effect and they just sell more? Jared's like case in point.
I'm
right
case in
there.
point. I don't want Game Pass, but I bought the game. So
People are talking about the game because it's on Game Pass and lots of people have it to
everyone
play.
wants
And
it,
that
exactly.
bled over to Jared, and Jared noticed that the game was cool, so we bought it. Probably not a
And-
game that Jared would have bought had it not been on Game Pass. I agree with you, Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't normally do twin stick shooters, but it's kind of an interesting mix between a twin stick shooter and like an action RPG. It actually reminds me a lot of I think Dale. I think you played this Victor Vran.
Oh yeah,
which
Yeah,
is
that's a
like
cool game.
like an action RPG, but it's also like a twin stick shooter in that way, where you kind of like point your guy and swing your sword or whatever, and have like like dodging is a big mechanic, and like monitoring your dodge cooldown, and you have like special attacks and grenades and all these things, but they're not always available, right? So you gotta kind of watch it, and you gotta watch your ammo levels, and reloading's a big deal, kind of thing. So. I've been playing
The other twin stick game that I played fairly recently, Jidge.
Oh yeah,
Remember that one?
here comes the
Yeah,
jidge.
Jidge.
literally
Forgot
never-
about that game for a
Never
minute.
heard of that.
He didn't listen to the episode then. It was
Game
a
Bytes
good
Show
game.
podcast, favorite of 2000, whenever it
20?
was.
No, favorite of that week that Dale played it, and none other week.
It just makes a good, jidge.
Yeah, well, all
It's
right.
So-
Judge
so
with a Y.
So is the Ascent? So it's like a futuristic, like what
It's-
aliens?
Yeah,
Like a
no,
cyberpunk
it's super
ish.
cyberpunk. So I guess the kind of the background story they tell you in the like tutorial and in the intro is you basically sell yourself to a corporation to go to this planet, to this colony, so to speak. But it's like this like huge, like just monolithic, like giant city with all these inner workings, like just what you think of like the worst sort of like urban sprawl. Just pipes and platforms and layer and layer and layer all the way down. And so you're just like a maintenance worker, and you're like indentured forever, basically. And
You're trying to pay off your debt from them
Yeah,
bringing you out to this place.
So it's
basically,
like Total Recall, the twin stick. action.
yeah, kind of
Yeah,
like
okay.
that. And basically during the tutorial, it's kind of spoilers, so stop listening for 30 seconds if you don't want to play the tutorial of this. But the company like collapses, like that owns all of this, so it's just like mayhem. More
There
or
were some
less.
allegations.
Yeah,
sponsors pull
it's
out.
Blizzard. No,
Oh.
Got him. No. But anyway, so there's like a city hub, and you pick up quests and side quests. And then you go out to the battlegrounds, and they're like kind of narrow corridors, and you're kind of moving through. And monsters crawl up from the sides. I haven't gotten super far, but I can already tell like it's interesting the way it's kind of introducing new enemies to fight, because at first they're just like these like crawly monster guys, and lately they've started throwing like grenades at me, and then you like come across this
like
big
street
guy.
punks.
Yeah,
like street punk dudes with baseball bats.
yeah. So
down.
it's that kind of stuff. And so there's shooty guys, there's punchy guys, and you're running around with the submachine gun just laying them all out, dodging them when they get too close. So it's pretty fun.
I like those odds.
Yeah, the one thing that's kind of getting me that I'm not super stoked about is it's very much a game, and unless I just haven't figured out the system. But it's one of those games that says, "Oh, here's all your like tutorial stuff," and it's just like in a menu, and it's like endless the minute you unlock the whole thing. Text. Yeah, and you're like, "Oh, I don't want to read all this."
No, thank you.
But I've gotten kind of spoiled by Warhammer 40K's Martyr, or that game that Dale talked about a couple weeks ago. Martyr. I've been playing a lot of that, and that game is really good because each mission's like 8 to 10 minutes, and you get in, you play it, and you're done.
Best feature.
That's good.
It is the best feature. And then this one, I sit down and I'm like, where am I? Oh, I got to run all the way back.
There's so much running in this game. It's the worst part of this game.
It is. It is.
And an action RPG needs to have more of the A action and less of the RPG running around, doing dumb stuff.
Action running player.
It's like. It's like, exactly. Hey, you have this quest to go to this place, but it's like 5-minute run that way, and there's no fast travel, by the way. So just start walking, guy.
That is super bummer, because I got done with the mission, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll go this way, and I'll get back. No, it was a dead end, so then I had to run all the way.
The combat's really good. And that's the sad part, is like, I feel like if this game focused more on the combat and less on, I think they want you to run, because the game is really pretty, and I think they want you to run through this very well-crafted world that has a lot of, I mean, it looks great. It looks awesome. The lighting's really cool. All the enemy design, the people design, like the world is really cool to run through, but it just starts to become a drag when you have to do it over and over again. But once you get to the combat, it's like, hell yeah, let's shoot these guys, and it's fun. It's like it's a good time, and I like the different weapon styles. I like the shotgun a lot. I got a shotgun recently that I thought was really cool. And then I had to go run back to the main city. I'm like, oh, now I'm running again.
Ooh.
And it kind of slows down the pacing of the game. And it's like, I mean, with Diablo, for example, if you want to compare it to the best action RPG out, that game is like action, 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 and it does not stop. And there's minor dialogue, and then you're back in the action, and there's no way to
like you can choose when you throw a town portal and you take a breath.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of different plot points around too.
Yeah. I mean, even Martyr, you're playing it, and it's like you go down a path that doesn't like kind of dead ends, and there's like an objective. You finish the objective, and there's the teleport thing that takes you back to the center, so you can go down the next path. Like it's like it doesn't want to make you run back through the level you've already decimated. Like that's pointless.
It's the worst part of the game, and
there are like Skyrim does, where like all the dungeons are like a horseshoe. Yeah.
But anyway, so the game's really cool. The combat's really fun. It's really like tactile, and I've been playing it on mouse and keyboard. So even that works.
I've been playing
really
on controller.
Yeah,
I feel like I wanted if you play on mouse and keyboard, it uses the WASD, so you've only got like 9 directions you can kind of move. And I felt like but the aiming is way better with the mouse, because it puts like a reticle around that you can aim directly.
Yeah.
And when
again,
you play
if they
with
just did
the
that
controller,
whole Pokemon Unite thing where you just do like a cone of vision.
Well, it does that, and it has a really good auto aim feature.
That's
like it's not that difficult to aim.
Yeah.
And so I've been playing more with the controller because I prefer the analog stick movement on a game like this.
I'm glad we've come around on that. I think I've been talking about that for like 10 years. I'm glad that we've come to that.
What you should do is play with an analog stick to move.
Yeah, a controller in one hand and a mouse on the other.
No, put a thumbstick on top of a mouse. Razor, call me.
Oh, dude, no.
Yes,
no,
awesome. Hey,
no
Jared,
way,
I got a question. Is there any multiplayer to this?
Yeah, it's got co-op. I haven't tried it yet. I've heard it was kind of weird, but I don't know what that means.
Cross-platform? Maybe I can jump in.
I have no idea.
And I don't even know if I could play on the Xbox, because when I logged in, it like connected me to Microsoft's bullshit, whatever Xbox. I'm logged in with my Xbox account, so I don't even know if I could even play with the Steam
version
on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really played around with it, to be honest. Some of the negatives I did read about it was that its co-op was kind of so I don't know if it's just because
it's too much running around. Again, you can't just
Exactly.
get in and fight.
Way more fun
like,
to
okay,
run around aimlessly.
I'm in the city and I'm about 10 minutes away from you, and there's no way for me to get over there.
Yeah, I imagine that is kind of a drag. So I don't know. It's a lot of fun.
And the mini map is like useless, and the regular map is also useless. And the map points when you get like a quest, it's like, hey, it's in this direction. And so you start running that direction, then suddenly like that point will move and be somewhere else. And it's
like there was a branch you should have took.
So
it's like
the green
ridiculous.
dot or the green like thing on the mini map is guiding you towards the path. But sometimes I don't know if it
doesn't make
accurate.
sense. And it doesn't make sense. It's just broken. It just feels broken, is what it does.
So the game needs.
It's a shame because the game is really fun to play when you actually get to shoot things. But
I'll say the art is insanely detailed.
It's really good.
Awesome. It's just really.
It's got
good.
the visuals. It's got the core gameplay. It just needs some love in it.
Some polish.
Usability.
It needs some better play testing. It needs something else. I don't know.
So I'm going to keep playing it. I'm hoping they kind of bring, it's been out a week, so I'm not expecting anything soon. But gosh, with some of those upgrade, some improvements in the way you get into the game, it'd be good. It'd be really good.
It's on Game Pass, so play it there. I also found that my PC doesn't do too well when the action gets hot. When I have it on even medium to high settings, it starts to chug a little bit. So it feels bad right there.
It is not on GeForce now.
Is it not?
No, I've looked.
All right.
So it's a little sluggish. I would prefer to play it like on the PS5 if I could, I guess. But it's fine. I mean, it's like the explosions with all the ragdoll effects and all the particle effects is what kind of slowed down my machine. I don't have ray tracing on at all because I don't have a card that supports it. But anyway,
Xbox.com/play.
Oh, dude, I should try it there.
Do it.
Okay,
There you go.
Okay. Well, I've got some new releases for everybody, courtesy of tech-gaming.com. So head over there to tech-gaming.com. Check this out. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, The Siege of Paris DLC. Guys, the Vikings are invading Paris. It's happening.
This game's really good. I'm kind of stoked to play it more. I need to get back into it.
Cool.
I'm thinking I should.
I put the ramp on here, that game I bought. I think it was probably on the list last week, but I put it on this week because I bought it. And I know it just barely came out. There's a game that came out. It was called Dodgeball Academia, and I couldn't think of anything but My Hero Academia. So I'm like, what if it was like anime My Hero Academia, but dodgeball team?
Yes, like an RPG with sports elements to it. I would go for that. I'd go for that.
Yep. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, Dawn of the Dukes. This is DLC, right?
It is. I put this on here. I completely forgot Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition was a thing. This is the one where they went in and like redid all the art. I'm sure it is. It's a Microsoft game, right? And this is the second expansion for it. And I was kind of looking at him. I'm like, I forgot this was a thing. This looks really good. So I might check it out.
It is on Game Pass. Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3, all the things.
Is it the Definitive Edition or the Enhanced Edition? Because they're different.
The Definitive Collection is what it says.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, I believe so.
Excellent.
Let's see. Rad Switch and PC Game Titles.com. We have a game called Black Book. Black Book. I thought this was something that was a Rad Switch, Rad title. Up Gun.
Down Gun.
This is like a super budget FPS game. Reminds me kind of Up Dog, but not quite the same.
What's Up Gun?
Which gun? Up Gun.
Not much.
And finally, a game called Death Trash, which I actually looked up, and it looked pretty cool. It looked kind of like XCOM-y, like original XCOM, like not like Human Mankind Divided or whatever it's called. But like original XCOM style gameplay. And then supposedly the story is like really good on this Death Trash game. That's like what they hang their hat on. So there's that.
It's like the two worst games.
Hey, so I put some deals on here.
What are they?
So recently departed, but even more recently back on GOG and free until September 9 RD. I guess I don't know how to say 9th. I think I
like
meant to put
nerd.
3rd. September 3rd is when they're
Nerd.
free through. Ultima
September
Underworld
nerd.
1+2, Syndicate
Nerd.
Plus, and Syndicate Wars. They are free over on GOG. You can go
Nice.
get them right now.
paid for
Syndicate was
those.
pretty good games.
Dude,
Syndicate
Syndicate
was
was
good.
way good back in 1991 when it came out.
Yeah. I also noticed
It was
over
good.
on the Ubisoft store, the Far Cry series is pretty heavily discounted. If you're ever interested in any of those, it's probably worth a peek. I did see Far Cry 5 is like $9. So if you want Far Cry 5, that's the one in like Oregon or something. It's probably like in Dale's
Montana?
backyard. Yeah.
My son asked me today if Far Cry 5 was a good game, and I told him I didn't know.
Well, you can. Is it $9 good? That's the question.
For nerd dollars, you can.
It's probably nerd dollars.
Yeah, probably. The Epic Store freebies right now are A Plague Tale: Innocence and Minute, which is a return if you've picked up a Minute before in the past.
Yep.
Nice.
Plague Tale's been free elsewhere as well.
I added on here that the PlayStation Summer Sale, which is ongoing, has, I guess they've just been adding stuff to it week by week. And
oh, really?
The most recent batch of things that they've added to it include Pyre for $7, which
Worth
I keep wanting to get. And I think this is the time. This is my time.
This is it.
Yep.
Don't get scared now.
Good. Good.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is down to 50, which I guess it was like a full pop thing. Like it was $70. Is that accurate, Legrand? Does that check out? I think that's
Intergrade?
Anyway, it's 50 now. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which Jared enjoys. $30.
Yeah, and you know what? You can go play the Siege of Paris too, but you probably
get the DLC. Yeah, that's probably true.
How much is Valhalla?
30.
$30. $30. Which, you know, if it's
on
PS5, yeah. So if you can find it there for that, then you know you can probably find it everywhere for that. Watchdogs Legion, which Legrand enjoyed enough, I guess. $20 on the PlayStation Store.
I enjoyed Watchdogs.
I haven't played enough
quite
of it.
a bit, but
I like what I played. I haven't played enough though.
Really? I just wanted to point out a couple of new releases also that we kind of overlooked. Godfall, which was the big PS5, like I think Gearbox was doing this one. It was like their big armored dudes doing.
It didn't get real good reviews.
No, it didn't. But it's out on the PlayStation 4 now, and if you got the PS5, if you get it on PS4, it does come with PS5 or vice versa. The Falconeer, which I talked about just recently, it's like a very, very super high resolution, like 8K game. About flying birds around
There's something interesting. Not to cut you off.
No.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is a $70 purchase on PS5, down to $50, right?
Yes.
But Final Fantasy VII Remake is $30 on the PS4 on sale. Doesn't that come with a free upgrade to the PS5 version?
I don't think so, or at least
I thought it did. I didn't pay for my Intergrade. I paid for the Yuffie DLC. But I didn't pay for the upgrade to Intergrade on the PS5.
I mean, somebody should check this out. Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know.
If you buy, because I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS4, and supposedly you got a free upgraded Intergrade, which I did, and I bought the DLC. So I think you might be able to get the PS5 version for $30.
I doubt that they would like overlook that though. It seems like somebody at Square Enix would probably have noticed, but I agree with you. Like,
so if I bought that, so if I bought this, I'm gonna click on it. I'm looking at the store right now.
The last thing that I saw in here that I thought was kind of worth mentioning, I think I talked about it last week, but the Picross Genesis and Master System Edition is on Switch this week for $10, and Picross is always good. So
there is a Final Fantasy VII Remake upgrade for PS4 version owners, not available for purchase.
Maybe it was like a timed. Well, for you, if you've already got it, if you're looking at it through your account, it might say, well, you can't buy it.
I'm not signed in.
No,
I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Who knows? Anyhow, news. We got some newsy news going on out there in the land of news. First thing that we're gonna get through. We're gonna get through this together. Everybody, hold hands. Blizzard is still cranking. So we've got some more fallout this week from hints, allegations, and things that are being very much said. President J. Allen Brack, who I always get mixed up with Jay Allard, the old Xbox guy. Not the same person.
He probably doesn't appreciate that right now.
No, probably not. But I imagine that he's like bald or something. So maybe he is. I don't know. Anyway, he has stepped down. I believe that they are going to be doing kind of a dual leadership thing. They're going to have like co-executives. I think at this point is something that I heard. It's not.
There's like a female and a male, and I don't know who they are.
I have heard that this is playing right into Bobby Kotick's hands, though, where he's been trying for a long time to segment out some of the org chart, I guess, at Blizzard and Activision. So I've heard that this may just provide him with a real good excuse to do something that he's been trying to do for a long time.
So it's a guy named Mike Ibarra, who was the vice president for Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass previously. He joined Blizzard in 2019, and a girl named Jen O'Neill, who was the president of Vicarious Visions, who Blizzard purchased last January. So those two people are quote unquote joint running.
Yeah.
But they're like brand new people, which means that, to your point, Bobby Kotick probably had a hand in their hiring, and probably it may be that he's trying to get more control over Blizzard, the company that historically has been like, yo, we're Blizzard, we make WoW, we print money, leave us alone.
Yeah, it has never mixed. It's always been Activision Blizzard.
It's been Activision Blizzard, but nobody really felt like Activision was part of Blizzard or Blizzard was part of Activision.
Right. And
it always felt like Blizzard was kind of doing their thing and Activision was doing their thing. You don't think of Blizzard as also the Call of Duty company, right?
Yeah. Right.
So, anyway.
We also have a departure of HR director Jesse Meschuk, who, generally anybody who is overseeing the people at a place, once you have a blow up like this, that person probably is not going to last too much longer there. We also have Francis Townsend, who is an executive at Activision Blizzard, has stepped down from the company's women's network, which I guess I'm not sure exactly what she would do there.
He was like a politician or something.
Yeah.
She had some sort of a hook in with... She was the assistant for Homeland Security to George W. Bush.
And
she was like...
some good sense.
People don't like her very much because she had some weird tweets about like torture and stuff when they were doing the weird stuff, like waterboarding and whatnot.
Right.
And then she came on board with Activision Blizzard to be the executive vice president of corporate affairs. Anyway, people don't like her very much.
She will be staying on, though, as chief compliance officer, apparently. So she's still at the Activision Blizzard organization, but maybe just not in that particular role at Blizzard. There have also been departures from outside the company, specifically in the way of sponsorships and companies that have been associated with Blizzard, in particular Overwatch League and some of their esports stuff. This includes companies such as T-Mobile, whose logo stopped appearing on. So these were not like announced. I think we've just sort of been sussing this out, that this is kind of what's going on. Coca-Cola, State Farm, and Kellogg's, which I'll be honest, I did not know that those companies were particularly sponsors of Overwatch. Maybe
How much Overwatch League do you watch?
Lately, yeah, like maybe on like a Pop-Tarts box or something. I might have seen.
Nice.
Like that. And then of course some more direct, and I guess you would consider this to be sort of both internal and external, I guess, to the company, which is that shareholders of Activision Blizzard stock are suing the company over negligent leadership, damaging the share price, and it has suffered some.
The thing is with this is, like, as a shareholder, you're supposed to have insight into the inner workings of the company. The company was under investigation for over 2 years, and the shareholder just never knew about it until the actual lawsuit came out, which is pretty misleading. So, especially for a publicly traded company.
Yep.
Anyway.
And then the thing that is sort of impacts me the most directly, which is the Diablo Immortal, which I was waiting for. I've pre-registered for this thing, and people were playing it, but just not me. Game has now, and this is the mobile version of Diablo, now delayed until 2022, sometime next year. So, a few other things going on outside of Blizzard, though. The rest of the games industry does keep turning. Google is considering, now that its Stadia program has folded and closed in shame. I say.
Not the Stadia program, their game developer division.
Yeah, so they're licensing out the game streaming platform to industry partners. which we've already seen some of this. I mean, I know Bethesda. Remember a couple years ago when everybody was doing like this cloud streaming sort of thing, and it even like id or somebody over at Bethesda was doing one, and it was like, oh no, this is only for the back end. You know, we're going to be supporting infrastructure or something like that. This may potentially kind of fit into that kind of thing. But you know,
Well, like
Stadia's
if some random company wanted to make their own streaming platform, they could do it on Stadia's tech. Like
Stadia.
that's
Yeah. Which, you know, at least if the business model doesn't work, at least the technology seems to be pretty solid.
I think you're probably right there, and I think that's the unfortunate part about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I before Stadia came out, remember I was on that early test for Assassin's Creed.
You were all about
Odyssey?
it.
I was.
Odyssey.
I played it on the crummiest little laptop, and it worked
Yeah.
like a dream. And
It
then I just
works
had
really
zero interest.
well, but you know, it's just
You got to go buy all your stuff again. And
yeah.
You got to
Well,
choose
worst
what
that.
part.
really burned me on it was I was playing Destiny on it quite a bit because it worked better than GeForce Now, and it was all great until whichever latest expansion came out. And it was then that I realized that the version I was playing was different than the version that I owned on Steam. So I was playing like the free version. It was my account though. So like if I played on
Yeah.
Steam, I had the expansion.
You had the same guys, but you couldn't play like the.
But if I was on Stadia, I didn't have access to the expansion. I'm like,
I'm
this
gonna
is
blame
nonsense.
Bungie a little bit on that because that whole transfer thing, that whole well, your account is over here but not over here, but if you do it this way, then it's like that whole thing was a mess. So
Yeah.
But there's a lot of. I mean, there's
could
a
say
lot of messy
Stadia,
stuff
but
with that.
yeah, I think they were getting it together though. But in the meantime,
I don't know any
Jared
games
is
that
the
do that
casualty.
good.
Yeah,
Like
well,
Fortnite
and-
probably does that the best. Like Fortnite, you buy it one place, you have it everywhere.
Most games work that way, right? Like if it's cross-platform, it works.
Your account should like carry with you. And,
Right.
I mean, Final Fantasy doesn't do it. Like for example, if you don't own, your account is the same, but if you don't own an expansion on the PlayStation or even on the Mac, like you can't play it. Like I own
That's nonsense.
Shadowbringers.
I hate it.
I own Shadowbringers on the PC. I own it on the Mac, or I own it on the PlayStation 5. But if I wanted to download Final Fantasy on my Mac, I couldn't play it at all because I just haven't bought Final Fantasy for the Mac. And I think that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
Especially for a game that's like a live service game that I'm paying a monthly fee to play. Like buy it once. Like WoW does it the right way. You know, it's weird. It's just
bad.
Weird. It's bad. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Fortnite, not in our news outline, but I'm just going to mention here the Ariana Grande concert for Fortnite. Pretty good. I attended that, and big Ariana fan from way back. I'm one of the Ariana-nators. What do they call her fans? I don't know, something like that. I will say it was pretty all right. I think they've probably, I mentioned this in our Discord, and come join us on Discord. You can find a link to us on GameByteShow.com. But I think they've been iterating on this idea of these live concerts because this actually was a little bit more like a harmonic style. I mean, it wasn't a rhythm-based game, but it actually, they took you, as there were different songs and things, it actually took you through different little gameplay areas. You weren't just sitting and watching. You'd like travel down like this sort of paint gloopy sort of half pipe, and when you collected certain things, it would like change the colors and everything. And
little mini game things they
yeah,
had.
yeah.
That
While
just
you're
makes
doing
me
it.
think of Audio Surf and how awesome that game was.
Yeah,
that game was
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it's not anywhere near like that sort of level of technical, fidelity, but
You'd never be able to play Audio Surf anymore because nobody owns any MP3s anymore.
I
yeah.
I know.
Somebody just needs to link that into Spotify. Audio
Dude,
Surf,
yeah.
Audio
Be
Surf
awesome.
Spotify edition.
I'd be all
that'd
down
be
with
good.
it.
So anyway, it definitely was a thing to check out. I do have a newfound affinity for Ariana Grande because of my Fortnite. First time I've logged into
yes.
Fortnite in like 2 years, but it was good stuff. The Steam Fest. Here's some kind of interesting stuff about the Steam Fest. I guess sort of semi-annual recurring event that they do. I guess courtesy of Jeff Keighley, probably. Is
promoted
that
it,
demos that have been offered on Steam Fest have converted to 292% more wish lists. Now, here's the next logical question I have.
More
I don't know how
wish lists to sales.
Yeah, okay, that's where I was thinking, from
Yeah.
wish list to sales.
So it was on their wish list. They tried the demo and then they bought it.
Yeah.
There you go. And I will say one of the games that I played, which was Haven, I talked about it a couple weeks ago. Did not buy it, but it's on Game Pass. I played that, so that's kind of like a sale, sort of. But I have discovered some pretty interesting things during the Steam Fest. which I've actually really appreciated that they've put that on. It is kind of nice in the same way that where E3 would kind of provide some of that. This has sort of stepped in and given people playable ways to discover some new things, which has actually been really cool. So it is neat to see because a lot of those two are games that might not be discoverable otherwise. It's just hard to find what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think that's honestly great. Like, hopefully they keep doing more stuff like that. I love seeing demos available again, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Something that we haven't visited for a while, the ongoing lawsuit between Epic Games and Apple. There was a while there where it was like producing some really juicy behind the scenes information. And one that came out this week that was kind of interesting is that Google at one point had been considering purchasing some or all of Epic Games, which is remarkable. And they are one of the few companies that probably has the money to do it. And I guess it doesn't, you could be considering any number of things and it doesn't necessarily translate into, actual material action, but it is kind of interesting. Here it says, Google has gone so far as to share its monopoly profits with business partners to secure their agreement to fence out competition. Ouch. They've developed a series of internal projects to address the contagion it perceived from efforts by Epic and others to offer consumers and developers competitive alternatives. So the other thing here is that not only would they have had the money to do it, but the idea was that they would buy it to prevent Epic from making waves, I guess. Yeah, exactly. So kind of interesting, and I admit I have not been really keeping abreast of other things that are coming out from the Epic Apple thing, but that was kind of an interesting little nugget.
There's one above there that you missed.
Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah. So Epic sinking $500 million into the Epic Games Store, which we kind of have talked about this a little bit, where it was sort of a lost leader. But also has gained some market share for them. I think we sort of talked at one point about the arithmetic of money that they spend versus, getting users involved. And I think all of us, I'm pretty sure, have become at least somewhat entangled in the Epic Games Store through their
Or agnostic to Steam versus Epic.
It has moved the needle at least in some way for us. Epic has disclosed that they don't really expect to make a profit on it until 2027, which. Okay, for a company with coffers like that, probably not a big deal. They don't seem to be, outright hemorrhaging a ton of money that they can't make back. They're pretty secure in that. But it is interesting that to that extent, the Epic Games Store is still kind of a lost leader. I'm gonna take just a quick production moment out for a moment and just check and see if Dale. I know your microphone there doesn't sound like it's.
He's totally silent to me.
Back on there. Keep working on that, I guess. Robodale's making an appearance. Let's see. And then just a couple more items here. This actually is kind of interesting as well. One of the things about the Nintendo Switch, the sort of handheld to dock form factor, is that something about that dock, I think there's some sort of processing, some sort of minor.
I think it's just power
logic or something. Yeah, it could be just electricity,
power.
But it runs differently with a little bit better specifications when it is docked. The Steam Deck, however, the new up and coming handheld PC platform from Epic Games, from Valve, is apparently going to run at the same specifications, whether it is docked or whether it is in handheld mode only. Which is kind of cool. And I'm not sure the necessity. I don't really know what it is about the Switch that sort of necessitates that kind of setup. But I tend to play my Switch mostly docked, partly for that reason.
I am Dale,
I'm going to get into it
because power is hard, battery is good.
Oh man!
All right, that was fun.
Robodale.
I will tell you, I've been playing this damn Pokemon game, right? And I really hate the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con because they are garbage.
Oh no.
The drift is the worst.
My Pro controller this week, in fact, just today found out that one of my sticks on my Pro controller is.
Are you kidding me?
I've got a dead. It won't go to the right. I tested it on 3 games. At first, I thought it was a problem with Fuser, but
because I was gonna buy a Pro controller so that I could play more freaking Pokemon Unite without having Joy-Con drift. And now you're telling me that's not going to work for me either?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, and I've looked up a YouTube video on how to take my controller apart, and I'll kind of see what it does. But the return of Dale, so we have
That's
Flesh
brutal.
Dale is back. It is brutal.
Good.
But
Anyway, I hate the Joy-Con, and I can't.
yeah,
I don't know.
Well,
This has nothing to do with the Steam Deck that we're talking about, but I hate the Joy-Con. I hate the Nintendo Switch. I hate everything about. I hate it.
stay tuned for the Nintendo lawsuit because I got a follow up email from the class action people to remind me to fill out some forms for that.
Or
So
the
that's-
Joy-Con?
Yeah, for the Joy-Con lawsuit.
Oh shit! Can I still sign up for that?
Beats me. I don't know, but anyhow, so
I need to. I have and it's only the left Joy-Con because that's the one you use the analog stick with most.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
so I have a Switch Lite, so I don't know anything about docking or not docking. But
You're getting the low power mode all the time. Boo.
it's fine. It runs fine.
It's
It does run
fine. It's
fine.
fine. It's just
Yeah.
a 1080p that upscales on when you're doctored or whatever. Do you have any Joy-Con drift on your Switch Lite?
No, not yet. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to get Joy-Con and these are Dad's Joy-Con and kids, you don't use Dad's Joy-Con. Maybe
Well,
that's.
I will say this in Nintendo's favor. When I had some Joy-Con drift on one of my little removable Joy-Cons, they turned it around. I sent it to them. They did it free of charge and they did it quick. So I think they're fairly
Really?
sensitive to the fact that they've got some.
Yeah, I need
I've got at least 2 left Joy-Con that are just broken.
yeah. I've got a
Put in a
set.
trouble ticket with them. Yeah, do
Doing
it.
it.
I would say do it sooner rather than later.
I should have done it already because I haven't played my Switch, and now all of a sudden
Yes.
Pokemon Unite, and I
Yes.
want to play it.
It is inconvenient. It's a huge pain in the neck. I hate
It's
it.
like, oh, I don't really care. Why do I need to send these back? I don't play my Switch anyways. And then here I am wanting to play it finally. And anyway,
Well,
it is what it is.
gentlemen, it is time to close out the news on the Game Bytes Show podcast with this week's speed run.
Here we
Start
go.
The music.
Let's see here. Amazon delays its MMO New World again, but only until September 28th, 2021. They just got done with their beta, so apparently they found things, which I think
Yeah.
that's the point of a beta. So
Yep.
good
Maybe
on them
they found
for
it wasn't good.
Good on them for
I've-
taking their time.
Listen,
with that.
they've gotten so far as to release games and then decide, nope, we're
No,
not
this
doing
is not
it.
good.
Yep. So we'll see if it. We'll see. So I'm still not convinced, but Godspeed to Amazon Games. I hope they can make it.
Indeed.
Hey, good
Yeah.
news, guys. There's a new Half-Life game coming. You heard it right. It's
Whoa.
Half-Life 2 remastered, not
Oh,
by
yeah.
Valve.
That's interesting. I
Valve
thought they already-
sanctioned.
It's
Yeah.
Valve you remember when they made Black Mesa, the remake of Half-Life
Yeah.
1, and
Yeah,
Valve was
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
cool with this, guys. We're cool. Make our game, do our development work for us.
Yeah.
We're on board with it. That's basically what this is.
Yep.
Listen, I'm still waiting for the opposing forces to come
Lost
back.
Coast
Army, man.
remastered.
Oh,
That was
dude,
so
Lost
good.
Coast.
There
Can't
you
wait
go.
to see that bloom. It's so good.
Bungie and Ubisoft have filed a joint lawsuit against sellers of cheats. And I actually don't have a whole lot more information against this pertaining to this, but
it's a speed run,
It's
bud.
speedrun. Who
it is
cares?
speed run. So just be
It's a
aware
speed-
if you're a cheater out there, Ubisoft
Coming.
and Bungie are
Bad
coming
boys,
for
bad
you.
boys.
That's right.
Gone Home Studio, Fulbright. Fulbright is the name of the studio. The co-founder Steve Gaynor has stepped down from directing the game that they have in the works now, which is what is it called? Open Roads, I think. It's an Annapurna
Oh,
game.
yeah. Yep.
Apparently, I happen to follow him on Twitter, and he put out a few tweets about this, saying that basically what had happened was, I guess he had developed it into a sort of leadership style that was probably too
Huggy.
hard writing certain people and
Oh,
stuff,
alright.
and so that
Don't
he
say
was
that.
he was basically taking a step back and trying to get some, I don't know, leadership therapy stuff or something. It didn't sound like it was anything sexual harassment or anything like that exactly, but it
Right.
Trying to be a
other
better
sorts of
person.
personal conflict, I guess.
There you
Let's see.
go. VR game of the century. Pistol Whip.
Also a great sandwich topping.
Yeah, it's getting a free cowboy themed
Helmets.
update. I will play this because every time I put on my Oculus Quest, I play Pistol Whip, and well, I might as well check out the free cowboy themed update. That's the best game on the Oculus Quest. It's really good.
So Kerbal Space Program, after many developers and many years, nearly a decade, is done. They're done adding to it.
It's about time too, because where's this Kerbal Space Program 2 that is allegedly on the way?
I don't know. It's totally
That's the word
different
on the
developer
street.
and everything. It's crazy. So we'll
At
see.
some point, you just have to pull those people off like little bulldogs. And
Well,
say, "Stop
Jeremy,
working on
we're going to
this."
have to get the Soviets to develop Kerbal Space Program 2 for us.
I know the Chinese.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, listen, speaking of improbable things, another record-breaking video game auction has seen a rare copy of Super Mario Brothers sell for $2 million. And listen, I like Super Mario Brothers as much as the next guy. Maybe even more than the next guy, but not $2 million.
Jeremy, in this one, you can jump over the flagpole.
Your uncle at
Without a
Nintendo
game
bought this
genie.
for $2 million. Yeah.
$2 million. Your princess is in the castle.
Yeah.
Well,
This guy.
speaking
everyone.
of old Nintendo games, you guys remember Metroid?
Yeah,
Heard
dude.
of it.
It's been so
Metroid's
long.
getting
Nobody likes that
sequel,
game.
Metroid Dread, that's coming out in just a month and a half or so. And apparently it's going to give us more background, more deep lore about the
deep
Chozo.
lore.
Whoa.
The Chozo species.
The Mexican sausage.
The
that-
chorizo.
oh, no.
Love
Yeah,
it.
the chorizo.
You know those like bird-like people statues where you always get your ball
Yeah.
form?
Well, and
stuff?
allegedly, like that's the origin of her Zero suit, right? Or her what do you
Yeah.
call it?
Metroid
Various
Zero
suit.
mission goes
the
into that.
various.
Yeah,
The whole
Yeah.
the whole thing, like apparently she was raised by Chozo.
yeah. In the
something.
comics, there's a whole comic book thing about
And
that.
Metroid Zero mission touches on her being raised by the Chosen.
I tell you what, this is what I actually want. Like, no joke here. This is what I want from Metroid. I'm so
breakfast
tired
burrito.
of things. This is why I wanted Federation Force to exist.
Other
and this is what I
M.
liked about, and even Metroid Prime 3, which you have all these other Metroid hunters, where you've got these other species that are like doing cool stuff. I want to
Bounty
see
hunters.
more. Yeah, I want to see more from the Metroid universe. So I approve of this message. Dale, thank you for bringing it to us on the Game Bytes Show.
You're welcome. Glad to be of service.
That's going to do it for this week's speed run. And folks, that is going to do it for this episode of your Game Bytes Show podcast this week. Thank you for making it to the end with us. If you have any comments about anything that we have played, if you want to share what you've been playing this week, if you have any thoughts about any of the news that we've talked about, new releases, something that we missed from the list that you really want to highlight, let us know all about that. You can find us on social media and tell us. You can find us collectively on Twitter. We are at Game Bytes Show collectively there. You can also reach out to us individually if there's something that we individually said that made you really mad. You can find me at Jeremy_Lamont.
If I said something really mad, you can find me at Jeremy_Lamont and tell me all about it.
And I'm at
Otherwise,
Count
I'm
Bilbo.
at Legrand. Sorry.
I'm at red
killed him.
_I. Oh.
You can also find us over at GameBytesShow.com, the website where we exist. You can find a back catalog there of all of our podcasts, which there are many, and they are all of high quality.
Don't
and
miss
they're
a
all
single one.
available. Oh, check them all out. Become fluent. There is much lore.
Deep
in the Game
lore.
Bytes Show podcast, very deep lore. You can also find a link there to our Discord server, which is where we operate on a day-to-day basis. So you can come join us there. We've got some, anecdotes going on. We've got memes. We talk about, life being like 40-something,
Box of
middle
chocolates.
America, box of chocolates. It's all.
Final Fantasy 14.
Final
chat
Fantasy's going on.
console?
I just started this week. I started my 2-week trial. I'm back in. Dale, get in with me. We got to do this thing. Final Fantasy 14 is back on for 2 weeks. It's the last couple of weeks of the open.
He might actually log into it.
Yeah,
You
and my
should.
daughter played one mission, so we've at least got one mission under our belt.
Wow.
This
In Final
week,
Fantasy
so-
14?
That's right. Yep.
But Jeremy,
know.
I haven't played Final Fantasy 13 yet, so I
You
won't
won't
know how
know.
the story goes.
That's right. You'll have to play all the rest of them.
Speaking
Right,
of
Final Fantasy 11.
good MMOs that are actually good, both of my oldest kids have saved up their money and already pre-purchased the next expansion for Guild Wars 2 coming out in February.
Whoa.
Wow.
Jared
This
is
weekend.
raising some
Wow.
young nerds there.
Nerds.
Oh, they're like kids.
Jared is also raising some adult nerds over at youtube.com/GameByteShow, where we've got all kinds of LARPing going on and Ultima Online. Other good things. Legrand's been streaming over there. We should all get back on there and start sharing.
Nah,
some
YouTube
stuff
sucks for streaming. Sorry. I know you're watching this on YouTube, but it
there.
sucks
Legrand
for
is
streaming.
chickening out again.
I am. I'm back on Twitch. Screw
No,
you
actually,
guys.
what we have been doing though is on our Discord though. Sometimes if there's something kind of cool going on, like Legrand was streaming Back for Bloods there for a little while there on our Discord, so you can come.
Oh
join us
yeah, I
there
did
as
do
well.
that.
A little intimate, one-on-one. You can come get to know us.
It was just
Uh,
me and Jeremy hanging out playing
That's right.
zombie game.
It's like our $0 OnlyFans, where the only thing that happens is we just we're like, hey, look at all the blood that dude's covered in right there. So, yeah. Folks, that is the end of this podcast for this week. I want to thank you very much for joining us. We will be back next week to keep you updated, edified, entertained, and so on and so forth with another great Game Bytes Show podcast. But until then, this has been your show. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Seeing you.
Bye.
Bye out on YouTube.